From Charlottetown, it is Island Storm basketball, NBL Canada action right here on 5TV1 this afternoon. It's the Island Storm taking on the best team in NBL Canada, the London Lightning. How you doing, everybody? Peter Ruttgazer alongside Gord McNeely. Glad you can join us here this afternoon in Charlottetown. Gord, a real tough one last night for the Island Storm. They lost 114-93 to Kitchener-Waterloo. Some of the things they need to clean up here this afternoon.
Team defense, transition defense, and rebounding. Those are the three key elements to your team to make it run, and they just didn't do a very good job of that. Gave up too many points, large runs, and third quarter, they just were a little bit asleep. First and third quarter were really, really detriments to the Island Storm. They need to pick those up, play collectively, get the best shot possible, and they need more production out of their 1 and 3 spots particularly.
This London team, they are a juggernaut. 27-4. They are deep, they're talented, and they're led by a former NBA first-round pick in Royce White.
Yeah, they're going to have their hands full today, but these are the type of games where you kind of have nothing to lose. So you go out, maybe you execute a little bit better and just try to play your game and try to establish your defense and keep this London team off the glass.
Yeah, London coming off a very easy victory against Cape Breton in their last outing. Folks, we're going to step out. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip. You're watching Island Storm basketball right here on 5TV1.
Now is the winter of our discontent. May it glorious summer, sun.
Alec, dear, since this is one of his most famous speeches, I think it is incumbent upon us.
It's the 805 for Toronto.
Chamber of Commerce guy said to me, Patterson, Stratford has always been a railroad town. And I said, yeah, but I'm planning to change that.
Well, we'll have to hold the curtain until 8:10.
Conscience hath 1,000 several tongues, and every tongue brings in a several tale, and every tale condemns me for a villain. Perjury in the highest degree, foul murder in the direst degree.
When Tom Patterson brought Richard III to a leaky tent at Stratford, Ontario, they started a love affair with festivals that still goes on. The Montreal Jazz, the Toronto International Film Festival, the Yorkton, the Shaw, the innumerable faces of Festival Canada.
Hey, Mom, is it okay if Sarah comes over for dinner tonight?
Yeah, as long as it's okay with her mom.
Can she?
Yeah, of course.
Yes!
At Ronald McDonald House, we give families a home away from home, close to their sick children.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Welcome back,
For
everybody.
Ryan
Here
Anderson.
to Charlottetown as we get ready for this game. Let's send it down now to public address announcer Paul M. Skierman.
Julian Boyd. From Iowa State University, a 6'8" forward. Number 30, Royce White. From St. Joe's, a 6'7" guard. Number 15, Garrett Williamson. And from Utica, a 5'10" guard, number 9, Doug Herring Jr. The head coach of the London Lightning is Kyle Julius. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for All-Star Cresting, here is your starting lineup of your Island Storm. From Lakeville, Minnesota, from Augustana, a 6'5" forward, number 15, Al Richter. From Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, out of the University of Ottawa, a 6'4" guard, number 13, Harry Holmes. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, out of Kansas State University, a 6'6" forward, number 6, Akeem Wright. From Jacksonville, Florida, out of the University of Kentucky, a 6'9" center, number 5, A.J. Stewart. And from Mesa, Arizona, out of Arizona State University, a 5'10" point guard, number 1, Jahi Carson. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Island Storm in his 6th season, Joe Salerno. Assistant coaches Ray Benito and Jeff Morrison. The team manager is Mitch Rowley, and the head physiotherapist is Colin Moore.
Welcome everybody to Charlottetown, and it's going to be a great afternoon of basketball because you've got the Island Storm taking on the best team in NBL Canada, the London Lightning. This is a basketball team that is 27-4, and I'm telling you, they've got talent, they're deep. It's going to be a big test here for the Storm.
Yeah, I'm excited about this game. This London team is a great professional basketball team organization. So welcome the fans tuning in from London. My name is Gordon. This is Peter. We're going to bring you the action, and hope you're enjoying a beautiful Saturday in London, Ontario. Welcome to the fans all across Prince Edward Island too watching. We're excited for this one.
Yeah, this London team, they've got a 9-game winning streak going. Earlier this season, they had a 14-game winning streak that was snapped by Windsor. And the one thing going for them, they've had a lot of continuity this season. They haven't brought in too many players. They haven't had too many injuries, and they've been able to build all season long.
Yeah, so this is going to be fast-paced. You're going to get the ball inside, outside, and then you got to make sure if you're the Storm, protect the basket. You're going to be undersized, and a lot of give them one shot and start your fast break.
So we're underway here in Charlottetown. There's Royce White, and White can't sink that bucket. He's a former first-round draft pick in 2012 by the Houston Rockets, and we'll talk about him throughout the afternoon. He's got a very interesting story.
And he's guarding Jahi Carson. So it looks like they're in a kind of a zone kind of matchup thing happening to start the game.
Long-range shot there by Akeem Wright, misses.
But I think he could be guarding Jahi because they know that Jahi's their scoring spark plug for the Storm. So they're going to put their best defender on him right away to say, hey, you know what? You're not scoring tonight. Somebody else going to have to do it.
He's a big man, Royce White, but he can also handle the ball very well.
And this is the type of play that you want to see if you're the Storm. That was a set play by the London. It went out of bounds, turnover. That's giving you a chance to say, hey, we're going to get into the game early. We'll see if London can make some mistakes, and we're going to play tough.
Defensively, wasn't a great showing last night for the Island Storm, so they want to make up for it here this afternoon against the best team in the league. That pass almost intercepted. There's Wright. He's going to muscle his way through there and lays it in.
Yeah, good start.
A.J. Stewart back in the lineup tonight. Pass inside, and that was Williamson as he got knocked down. No foul, wanted a foul. Here's a shot from Jahi Carson.
Yeah, he didn't shoot. He only took 8 shots last night for Jahi Carson, so he was 2 for 8 from the floor. So he's going to look to get going here in this game, I do believe. He really is the spark plug. Like I said in the pre, they have to get more scoring from their 1 and their 3 positions. So that's Jahi Carson, Al Stewart, Terry Thomas. Those guys have to pick up their scoring.
And I think a lot of that had to do with also the play of Blazek last night that really shut down Jahi Carson.
Yeah, very good point guard. He's going to be a dangerous kid to play against for the Titans in playoffs.
So at the line now is Garrett Williamson out of St. Joe's. Named twice to be the Atlantic 10 Conference All-Defensive Team. A.J. Stewart.
We didn't see him last night, so he's fresh. He's coming off an ankle injury last week, A.J. Stewart is. So they're going to need his size and presence and activity against this team. He was sorely missed last night for the Storm team.
So 2-1 here in the early going of this game. This Cape Breton team, or excuse me, this London team, coming off a 129-109 victory over Cape Breton. Inside for Boyd. Boyd's going to try it again. This time he gets the deuce.
And the Storm 1 shot. That's the key. 1 shot and then release or grab the rebound. That time they had 2 shots and the second one wasn't very successful.
And that was right. Gets knocked down and he'll head to the line.
And Julian Boyd, does he ever work in there? He's averaging 15 points a game. Gets inside. These two guys work very well together inside, and it's very Royce White and Julian Boyd. They just set traditional post-to-post screens, set guard screens, and then they go and dive to the block. So hard to defend that.
Another example of the great depth they have in this team. Julian Boyd, NEC Player of the Year 2012, played at Long Island University. Herring got it down to the low post. There's Royce White. White gets double teamed. Can't get it off the window. It comes out here to Boyd. He's going to try to knock down the 3. No good.
Yeah, again, that's 2 shots. They got 2 shots at it, so. And quality of shots are used. They use the post very well. It's easier to shoot 3s when the post has a touch. So they do that very well, and you saw it there. They got a post touch and a 3.
Nice move there by Al Richter.
And already a better start than last night for the Storm.
Here's Royce White. Herring. Shot's a little short. That's Anderson. He can't make it, so London having some problems from the field. Here's Wright. And a reach-in foul there.
Rob Norman into the game. He saw limited action last night. I think he's coming in to give A.J. Stewart a blow because they know they're going to have to rotate about 5 guys in to defend the interior post defense. And Norman is in for defensive purposes to make it very difficult on their interior post offense.
They're going to have to do the same thing that Kitchener did last night. Back-to-back situation. You're going to have to go deep to your bench, right?
Sure. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And that's a good sub by Joe Salerno.
Here's Wright, wants to go down the lane. Shot clock ran out. And now London, they push it up the court. And there's Williamson. A nice feed there and a good read by Ryan Anderson to get him the ball.
And London's defense is so good. Their defense leads to an easy transition. Storm didn't even get a shot up. So you have to keep that ball moving and be ready to shoot just like that. Good shot.
Rimmed out. And White now will push it up the court. And that pass gets tipped by Jahi Carson. Talking to Coach Kyle Julius, the one thing he said that his team, they like to share the ball. They like to move it around. They're very athletic. I pressed them on how would you describe his team, and he goes, I don't think we have any other style. We're not locked into any one style. So he feels that's an advantage for his team. And there's a long-range shot there by Anderson, Ryan Anderson, hitting a 3.
Yeah, beautiful wide open shot from range, and Wright will try to answer back.
Rebound, loose ball. And it's picked up here by Herring. He's the table setter. Oh, an alley and a oop as Julian Boyd knocks that down. A great feed there by Herring.
6'7", big man has got some ups. Athletic. Wow, what a nice play. That's what London does. They're fast breaking, fast and hard. You got to get back.
Herring drives. Lightning by 3.
So this is, you have your 4 guy bringing it up. G. Carson, the ball's got to get back to him to set their offense.
Rittger drives, and he's fouled and will head to the line.
So you see the potency of London's fast break in a few different ways here. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, and then he's throwing that on the other side of center court. And you want to talk about the NBL and the league and the quality of basketball. An alley-oop from that far away, you don't see that very often in any league, and that's beautifully done.
When I talked to Royce White before this game, he said this league, the NBL, just as good as the D-League, the NBA D-League.
Oh, it sure is. And they're quality players at every position. They work hard. I mean, get out and support the NBL in London and here. I know they get great fans in London and as they do in Charlottetown as well.
7,000 to 8,000 fans come out to the Budweiser Center, Budweiser Arena, I guess it's called, in London to watch games. So they're getting great support in London. Into the game now, Marvin Phillips, spin move in the lane, and they get it to go.
Yeah, again, their quality of shots wears you down as a team. If you notice, they're getting shots in 2, 3, 4 feet from the basket.
There's Rittger with a drive.
Oh, Norman, big rebound.
Right there. He follows up.
And that's key for them tonight. That's why this afternoon, Norman's in that game working hard.
Lightning by 2. Phillips, Herring. Williamson baseline, kicks it out. Good ball movement here by London.
Oh.
And that was a shot there by Marvin Phillips, couldn't drain it.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement. That's what they do. They find the open man. They break you down.
Shahee Carson, fadeaway Jay. Nortman there and then swatted it away, and it'll be London ball.
And good shot for Shahee. So nice start, a little nice start for both teams. This is going to be a good game. You don't go and watch the Masters or anything on us. This is where you want to be.
Folks, we're going to take a break right now. 5:43 remaining in the first quarter. London leading by 2. Back with more right after this.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Island Storm Basketball on 5TV1 is brought to you by Gravcom Group Design Web Marketing. We're here to help you be great. Peter Rutgazer alongside Gordon McNeely and the 5TV1 crew. 5:43 remaining in the first quarter. London leads this one by a score of 12-10. And in last night's game against Kitchener-Waterloo, things kind of broke down for the Storm, would you say, in that second quarter?
Yeah, in the second quarter, they just gave up big runs, and today, especially at the start of the game, it was kind of a in and out of game. It didn't have much flow to it. This one has a little bit better flow to it, and the Island Storm, if they can stay close, get the crowd involved. The crowd wasn't involved last night at all. If they can get the crowd involved against this hard team, good things could happen at the end of the game.
Battle for the ball there. It's going to be Island Storm ball. Back to Royce White. He suffers from anxiety disorder. He has a mental health issue. He felt that the Houston Rockets weren't serious in helping him, I guess, play with that anxiety disorder in the NBA. So his career has been kind of checkered, and he's trying to get it back on track here in the NBL.
Yeah, and good for him, a young man, to be so open, and this is what the NBA needs to kind of pay attention to, because Royce Wright should be in the NBA. He's good enough, and he needs that support. Just because you're playing in a kind of a macho sport in a macho league doesn't mean that we have mental health issues, and you got to really acknowledge those and try to work with the players, I do believe.
Loose ball, and then it'll go to the Storm. Yeah, he hasn't played a lot since being drafted in 2012. He went from Houston to Philadelphia to Sacramento, out of basketball for a bit, and he got an opportunity here. He had some opportunities in Europe, but he liked the feel of what they were doing in London. Talked to the ownership group there and said, this is going to be good for my family. Talked to him, as I said before this game, he said his family's really adapting well to Canada, and it's been a good fit for him.
Yeah, and you had a great conversation. Nice young man. We wish him nothing but the best, and we're glad that he's in Canada playing professional basketball. And Marcus Capers is in for him. So
turnover there to Heat Carson. Nice bounce pass, gets it to Baines, and Baines, he gets hacked. And nice sportsmanship there by Cardugan.
And a super interesting strategy, Peter, with Baines. Baines just came in off the bench. So last night he started. A.J. Stewart started today. Baines came in at about the 5-minute mark, and you see how he changed the game. So good coaching by Joe Salerno to give this second unit a boost of energy with Baines, and exactly what I think Joe Salerno was looking for.
Rashad Wack into the contest now.
Yeah, and for the fans listening, he played in Switzerland just recently, came back, signed on here with the Storms, played here before. Great shooter. We saw him get comfortable last night and hit a nice open jump shot. So he'll even be that much more adapted today.
Here's Cardugan. Great player with Marquette. Oh, yeah. Good ball movement again. There's a shot from outside. And now the Storm will try to get things done here in the half court. Akeem Ellis. Carson down the low post here for Baines. He's going to try this shot. Oh, nice touch there by Wack.
Yeah. That's a great confidence-boosting basket to start, to get in the game and to get an alley-oop offensive rebound.
Cardugan fadeaway, major fadeaway shot there as he went for a spill. Can't make it though. Here's Akeem Ellis. Inside for Nortman, and he lays it in.
The pace of this game, you can see the Island, you can see Kyle Julius talking to his players. Way better pace for the Island Storm game. Last night was a defensive battle. They didn't do very well in that. This game is a little bit more open. Guys can get out and get more confident shots.
There's Marvin Phillips, hits the tray. Storm by 3, 18-15. Late stages of the first quarter.
Good minutes from Nortman thus far.
3 ball from Akeem Ellis, no good. Cardugan. Ball turned over, and now the Storm on the run. Here's Wack. Ellis, 3-point land, and he hits it. He was wide open, made a great shot there.
On a 3-on-1 to shoot a 3, you see the confidence the Storm is playing with, and Kyle Julius is not happy.
So the Island Storm coming off a loss last night, off to a great start here.
You'll see it on a 2-on-1 to hit the trailing guy for 3 in the 2 position. And Akeem Ellis had just missed one, so you see what kind of confidence he has in his shooting ability. But he was in, set his feet, shoulders, hips are square to the basket, releases it. That's a professional shot.
And there you see that Storm team as the coaching staff talk things over here.
And you see Ray Vidito, Jeff Morrison there, who's a brilliant basketball mind, did some stuff with Scott Morrison there for the Red Claws in the D-League. So well coached here. Look at the post move. Watch the offensive rebound on the weak side. Well, just hanging around, staying close to the basket, young players. Good things happen. And Rashad Watt gets on the board early, which is going to help his confidence. Now you got trouble if you're London because you're on the road. You're not really up for this game because you think you can beat the Storm fairly easily. That's what it says on paper. But now you've woken up a team that hasn't really performed at its highest level all year, and now you're going to have trouble all night long. So this is going down. I like this Storm team. Lots of good options. Mixing up the lineups a little bit, Peter. And we see Al Stewart in for the first time here today.
So the veteran Al Stewart coming in.
And you know, they look like they're having a little bit more fun than they did last night.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you take 6 days off, you're a little bit out of sync.
And there's a bucket right there by White.
Yeah, textbook. Textbook strength and power. One dribble. That'll stop a run in a hurry.
Oh, Keem Ellis, nice fake. Baines wants to drive, and Baines goes down hard.
Yeah.
And I think that was Capers that took a bit of an elbow to the head.
And we're going to see it, and that happens when a player goes up, when they're starting to come down, there's a player underneath them. That elbow hits first on the back of the head. It's as hard as an elbow as they would give in an MMA. Watch as you'll see it here. Watch right there on the side of the head.
So Nortman is going to come out of the game. Good minutes.
Great minutes.
For Nortman.
And like we said, Peter, it's almost like the coaching staff and us, we completely agree. Defense was an issue. They brought Nortman in for his defensive abilities, and that earned him minutes. He did a fantastic 4-minute stretch of basketball, and that's what this team needs. Defense first.
23-17 for the Storm. Friesen. Johnson now. White directing traffic a little bit. Herring, he tried to go back to White on the bounce pass, and that didn't work out.
And for young basketball players, these are the games where you can watch and learn a lot of different things, especially from this Lightning team. Goes to the right side, swings over gently to the left side, back to the right side, inside. So they're really good at moving the basketball.
Friesen, he gets fouled there by Wack. Fans don't like that call. Joe Salerno doesn't like it.
And for the London fans tuning in, we're playing early today because there's a Quebec Major Junior big game here in Charlottetown. That's the Holy Grail. So this building will be totally transformed in about 6 hours and ready for a 7 o'clock game. It's quite amazing.
And this London team, they play out of the same arena as the London Knights in the OHL, so they're familiar with the transformation that goes on between hockey and basketball. Oh, nice move there by Royce White.
What are you talking about?
There you go. That's the reason why he should be in the NBA.
Well, Rashad Watt cannot challenge him at center court. You just got to get back and do not want this guy dunking the ball all over you.
And White goes into this game averaging 18.4 points. He's 5th in scoring in the NBL. Al Stewart. Whack, he's going to try his hand at 3. Overshot that one. Baines keeps it in. A.J. Stewart. And that's a foul against Joel Friesen.
Yeah, the two big men in together. Watch this. What the?
Whoa. That's unbelievable. Yeah, you don't see that in this league.
No, exactly. Just kind of behind the back, faked him out. 2 giant steps, and away you go.
In my conversation with him, you know, I said, what do you think of this league? And as I mentioned, he said it's just as good as the NBA Development League, the D League. And he says there are a lot of guys in this league, if they were given a legitimate chance, they could play in the NBA. So heady praise from a former first-round pick in the NBA about NBL Canada.
Yeah. And the only real difference, and I've said this before, the only real difference between the NBA and this league is that if you take your positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, basically in the NBA, every guy is about 2 inches taller at each position, okay, and probably about 25 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So that's really the only difference. Skill-wise, you're seeing the same skill level. It's just the guys are maybe, you know, we have a couple 7-footers in this league. Well, in the NBA, every team would have 2 7-footers.
Right.
So, and they get paid quite a bit.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's another part of our conversation. You know, Royce White said there are guys that are getting paid, and they're getting paid big money based on reputation, not what they've done for me lately, type of thing. Yeah. Turnover there by London, and here's Whack.
Whoa,
and
good
Whack
play.
Plays it in.
Well, that's at the buzzer, folks.
Yeah, so a great finish to the first quarter here for the Island Storm. And they lead this one 27-19 over the top team in NBL Canada.
You see Royce White bringing him down and just couldn't get there in time. Good hustle. That's the way you end quarters. This is a different team than we saw just a mere 18 hours ago, Peter.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with second quarter action. 27-19, Storm leading the Lightning.
Being part of an Easter Seals camp has really shaped who I am today. My dream is to see every kid in Canada living with a disability go to an Easter Seals camp so they can experience what I have experienced. See ability in disability. See the difference? Be the difference.
Text Easter to 45678. Make your $10 donation today.
Welcome back to Charlottetown, everybody. Peter Rutgazer alongside Gord McNeely and the 5TV1 crew. Getting ready for second quarter action, and the Storm off to a great start here as they lead the best team in the NBL by a score of 27-19.
Yeah, I was just watching the bubble soccer game.
Yeah, okay. It took your attention away.
Well, yeah. So they do some fun things here, man. We like to have some fun down here in Charlottetown. But, man, what a game. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage in Ontario and London. A great city, great basketball team, and we're seeing it here today. But what the London Lightning have done is they've kind of allowed the Island Storm to play their basketball game. Totally different team, this Storm team. They're playing collectively defensively. Everybody's touching the ball, and they're doing the little things. There's no set offenses. It's just coming in. It's just fast break against fast break. So London really needs to get down and get back to their quality defense.
And this London team, very versatile. They can grind you down. They can get up and down the court as well.
And good minutes from the Storm bench. I think the bench has really outplayed.
Whoa. Look at this move here by Royce White. Wow.
Yeah, and then A.J. Stewart is no small cookie. He's about 6'8".
And if you notice with White, he doesn't have a number. His number is usually 30, and I'm not too sure why he doesn't have a number, but
yeah, that's what happens when you're good. You don't need numbers.
You don't need a number, I guess. Yeah.
Numbers.
Number schmumber.
Wow, that was a great
look at that move. That low post move was unbelievable.
So much stuff we could talk about the technicality of his inside game. I was watching him warm up, and just technically speaking, he's just one of the best fundamental footwork people I've seen.
That's what I was about to say. You had mentioned his footwork.
Yeah.
Here's the key right. As the shot clock was winding down, Akeem Wright, he seems to be getting more comfortable with each and every game in an Island Storm uniform. Here's Williamson with a drive. Good defensive play by A.J. Stewart. Terry Thomas going to push it up the court. And that pass goes off the hands there of Ryan Anderson.
And right now the Storm have Al Stewart on the floor as he comes in as 2, sometimes 1. He's the 1 player, but they've got the other players are basically your 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all the same size, so they're going big. So Al Stewart's got to handle this ball, which you see right now, and let these other guys.
A whistle here.
They're trying to overpower them and make sure they protect the paint against this London team. So that's why you see them so big at every position. So we'll see if they can minimize their turnovers and give this London team 1 shot and out.
Right now, the Storm, they're shooting 45.5% from the field. Last night in that loss to Kitchener, they shot just 38.3%. So Thomas will inbounds the ball. Now we've got clarification. Joe Salerno talking to one of the officials. Al Stewart. Here's Terry Thomas coming off a screen. Terry Thomas knocking it down big time.
And that's a big, if he hits that shot, the Storm they go from being a good team to becoming a great team. So big shot by Terry Thomas. I know he's been working on it, and that time it looked fantastic.
Ryan Anderson, he replies with a tray of his own.
Man, the mechanics on Anderson are just fantastic. Great young player.
Thomas. Here's Akeem Wright bumping there with Williamson. A.J. Stewart, baseline shot, no good. Herring will push it up the court.
Good defense.
Here's Herring. He'll try his luck from downtown. And Ellis with the rebound. Here's the veteran, Al Stewart. Stewart off the glass.
Oh, good take. He was looking for a foul there, too. You got to get in front of this.
Here's White. And they're going to call White for a travel.
Yeah, and just slid that pivot foot. But even his travels are smooth. Yeah. So just good footwork, plants that foot, and just kind of like drug it at the end.
So Capers comes out, and Tony Criswell will come in. He's an interesting story. Tony Criswell, he played 1 season in the CFL with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Always wanted to play football. And at the time, Coach Chris Jones of Saskatchewan Roughriders was in Halifax for a basketball clinic. He was there, a football clinic, excuse me. And next thing you know, he gave him a tryout with the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
That's a great story. I can't believe it, you know, just to be able to do both sports. You can see the athleticism in these athletes.
It's a shot by Phillips, that misses. Here's Akeem Wright. Missed that one. 9:03 remaining here in the second quarter.
Storm are really working their fast break very well.
Criswell kicks it out. Herring going baseline. And he's fouled there by Akeem Ellis.
And that was, there was no communication in the matchups. I mean, Herring was in the corner wide open for an extended period of time and had one good solid dribble and nobody came over. So this is a little bit of what we saw last night. We haven't seen it yet, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that. Make sure your matchups are there, you're talking, and you don't get complacent. This is an 11-point lead against one of the best NBL teams ever. You know, you got to make sure that you communicate at all times.
Trying to extend a 9-game winning streak, London is.
And a lot of those CFL coaches would probably take D-backs from, you know, basketball. The defensive fundamentals is very similar to a D-back position in football, where you can guard and you're trying to. So I mean, the athleticism of these guys is just, it's world class. Yeah, Ryan Anderson's going to have a tough time guarding Al Stewart there. Yeah.
36-24, 8:32 remaining in the second quarter. Phillips, Criswell. Tries the jumper. That's nothing but an air ball. He says he got struck. No call.
No, but it's not the best shot. And you remember we talked about them the point guard position, and this is what I was kind of worried about. If they have 4 guys that are big on the floor, we're going to see balls like that go off people's feet and stuff because you don't have your natural positioning in. But you need to defend first, and I think Joe Salerno knows that.
Teardrop shot, no good from Anderson.
So what I want to see now with the Storm is them keep being aggressive, keep taking that ball to the basket. You've hit some outside jump shots. Don't settle in there. Make sure you run your systems and get it inside and push London's defense.
Give them different looks. Is that what you're saying?
Give them different looks, but make sure the ball goes inside right here instead of just shooting this 3.
And a turnover right there.
Yeah, or get it back to your point guard. You have to get it back to your point guard there. And this is, you'll see Joe Salerno go with, so Joe Salerno is making a move because we're just talking about this, and there's your natural, see, Jahi Carson back in because you need that natural point guard. And Joe Salerno, what a great coaching. He sees that, okay, that turnover is because we were we got away with it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Now we have to come back with Jahi and Richter.
Anderson shot, no good.
But then Akeem Ellis is going to be point. So
now he defers to
double dribble.
Carson.
Yeah.
And a double dribble against Jahi Carson.
And for the fans, a lot of the times don't see double dribbles. When you're dribbling with one hand, your other hand cannot touch the ball and then put it back on the floor. So usually Jahi was going to probably shoot it, and then he said, no, I'll drive. And it happens that fastly. So that's what a classic double dribble is right there.
Oh, nice pass inside for Criswell by number 15, Garrett Williamson.
So the Storm have not been crisp here in the last 2 minutes. Turnover. We're not seeing the shot, so get back to not doing that.
Once again. This time Ryan Anderson. Criswell. He gets the hoop and the harm. And Criswell will go to the line.
Yeah, very good play. Salerno's asking for a travel. And you'll see it here. Watch. We'll count the steps. But a lot of the times refs don't call this in the open floor. 1, 2, 3. It's a travel, but that's I don't know what goes nowadays.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you watch some NBA games and it's like, wow, are you allowed to do that? You know, like, so 36-28. Storm leading, want to finish out this quarter strong. Akeem Ellis trying to go to the hoop strong. And he gets run over there by Marvin Phillips. And Akeem Ellis is down on the floor.
So those 1-2 steps there. Watch this. Watch the back of his head.
Oh, he hit Richter's ankle or shin.
Yeah, great replay action in the truck. But he's okay. Those just sting in the back of the head. You don't know what's happening. So
yeah, you start seeing some stars.
Yeah, that's his game. Where you can't start dribbling the ball in front of your defender. Dribble the ball going at your defender, and he did a great job of that time.
So Royce White is going to check back in, and coming out is Marvin Phillips.
I've never seen a player play without a number.
I've never seen that either.
You have to be really good to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to try to find out why he doesn't have a number. Maybe somebody stole his uniform or they lost it.
Yeah.
Akeem Ellis at the line here. And the Lightning, boy, they played lightning fast. That ball was up the court in a matter of seconds. And here's Williamson.
What a rebound.
White gets the rebound, and then he turned it over. Whoa. And here comes Terry Thomas.
A good decision by Terry.
Holds up a little bit, then he drives.
There's your
Terry
lane.
Thomas.
Yeah, baby. Oh.
Delayed a little bit. He's going to hold it up and figured, hey, I'll do it myself.
Well,
Went down the lane.
The league's reading his scouting reports. He sees there's no lane there, keeps it, knows he has a mismatch. He thought he went out of bounds. and then just he cuts at that defender's shoulder so well. Struggling a little bit the last couple games because of the defenders know his scouting report. But now he's starting to change his game. He hit a 3 on the left side in the 3 position, and then that was a pullback and then re-penetration. Good job by Terry Thomas.
4th in NBL Canada in scoring, averaging 19.5 points a game heading into this one. As a matter of fact, in this contest, you have the number 3 scorer in the NBL, Jahi Carson. He's averaging 21.5. You've got the 4th scorer, as I just mentioned, Terry Thomas, and the 5th scorer in the NBL. That's Royce White with 18.4. So a lot of guys that know how to score the ball in this game.
Yeah, and we're getting late in the season, so those stats are going to stick a little bit more. You know, some guys come out and have a 30-point game. No, these guys are scoring this consistently, so those stats are going to stick. So that's about what they're going to end up with towards the end of the year. There's enough games behind them. So
White makes both shots.
He's really starting to. White's got a big offensive rebound, getting to the foul line. You know, starting to figure things out here. Oh, nice pass.
Nortman, he tried to get a pass there to Thomas. Here's Richter drives, and they're going to call Richter for the charge.
Yeah, good defense. It was a little bit of a sell job, I think. I think he was selling some Amway products in there in the middle of the key. But, I mean, being aggressive for the Storm, you like to see that. 6 minutes left. You got to start. No lead is big enough against this team. And just keep going. You got a 10-point lead here. For the Lightning, you want to keep going to your best players, just like this.
And
too easy.
Wow, yeah, way too easy. And we saw a lot of those buckets scored by Kitchener last night. Easy buckets, and there was a lot of holes in that defense for the Island Storm.
Well, what makes Royce White so good is that it's a 2-part system for him. So he's going to take you. He doesn't care if he has to pick you up. He's so strong. He's going to pick you up, bring you under the basket, and then just finish strong.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. 5:49 remaining in the second quarter. Storm by a count of 40-32 over the Lightning.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Did you know falls are the #1 reason children in Atlantic Canada are hospitalized? Help make your home safer for kids of all ages by using or installing a window stop. Screens are not enough to prevent falls. Protect small children by using a screw-mounted gate at the top of the stairs. Be careful not to trip over your pets, and keep clutter and toys off of the stairs and floors.
We can all help our home be a safer place.
Island Storm basketball on 5TV1 is brought to you by Centennial Auto Group, official vehicle provider of the Island Storm. One family, one customer at a time since 1979. Peter Ruttgazer alongside Gordon McNeely and the 5TV1 crew. It's a 40-32 lead for the Island Storm over London. And we just saw a second ago, Julian Boyd, he had a little bit of a meltdown and kicked one of the chairs there on the bench.
Went to the bench, kicked one of the chairs, Bobby Knight style. I don't know if you remember that happened a few years ago. Kicked one of the chairs and then jumped and he went to the locker room. So I don't know if it's an injury. I see the coaching staff talking over there, but so this is an emotional game right now. These guys are going after it.
And I can see him coming down the hallway now. I think he's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, you'll see him coming back into your screen, just on that top side there, with a trainer or something. So getting some high fives. Just had to cool off. Probably had to have a nice bath a little bit and come back in here. So the coach is obviously concerned there. Gonna go talk with him, shaking his head yes.
And,
But
you know, thing is, too, as Richter tries this shot, no good. They've been on the road for a while, so, you know, get that cabin fever type of thing when you're with a group of guys. And there's Royce White again, showing his great athleticism. You get that cabin fever kind of seeping in once you've been on the road for a bit, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's a long trip from Cape Breton to Prince Edward Island.
Turnover, here's Kyle Johnson. He's gonna try to lay one in off the glass, and he does.
And this is kind of ridiculous for the Storm to come out after a timeout, turn the ball over, not get back. Get it to your point guard's hands, okay? And this is, you'll see it here.
This is Royce White. Wow.
Just getting up, nobody's in front of him. You've got to make sure, you know he's gonna come at you. You got to get your body in front of him a little bit and take one for the team.
And there you see Julian Boyd. Went to Long Island University.
Yeah, and you can see, well, there was a foul. Jahi Carson came off a high screen like about 4 possessions ago. And I think he was the guy that picked up the foul. So he didn't think he fouled Jahi Carson coming off that screen. And I think it was probably more that he was more disappointed in being associated with that call. Came off, but still, it's a distraction for your team. You got to take a deep breath, you know, get some Gatorade or something, and just make sure you're all in for this team. But good time out there. You'll see the post move. Wow, just stay so balanced, Peter. And he's just coming at the basket.
Yeah, he's shown us a little bit of everything. Well, maybe not the shooting range that we saw in practice.
Yeah.
He was shooting 15-footers like they were nothing.
And the Storm have been hot. You can see it there. Terry Thomas, Akeem Ellis. And that's just not good defense, really. You got to make sure you're playing the inside guy first. That's the good layup there. So just like that, you got a 4-point game. This London Light, we were talking before about taking a 10-point lead and stretching it, and London did the opposite. They brought the Storm closer. So good defense. Work the ball around, get it to Jahi Carson, and let him operate.
These two teams are the top offensive teams in the NBL. Here's Wright. Shot off the mark. You've got London. They're averaging 115.2 points a game. That's first in the NBL and second in the NBL for points per game. Island Storm with 108.
And that was better defense there. He wants to go to that right hand. So they try to take it away. They got a foul. But, I mean, you've got to really make it hard for him so that he doesn't do it the next time, even if it is a foul. He's not going to shoot that.
Leaves it there for Johnson. Johnson hits it. Now he'll shoot 3. And so things kind of falling apart here for the Island Storm a little bit.
And you'll see it here. You just got too close. There's no foul there.
Oh, wow, he sold that big time.
My goodness.
He sold that one big time. Yeah, it didn't look like he was touched at all.
Yeah, and you see how Terry Thomas was the guy fouled that. Did you see how he reacted? He didn't. He just kept playing basketball. And I mean, he could have really reacted there because there was no contact.
Wide open is Baines. That's an easy bucket for the Storm.
It gives the crowd something to cheer about. That was a tough stretch. It was 30. They were on a 10-0 run, the London Lightning were. So it gives the crowd something to cheer about.
Here's Friesen. Again, great ball movement by this Lightning team.
Oh, look at the patience.
White double teamed. They kick it out and knocking that one down from way downtown, Kyle Johnson.
Yeah, and because he's hot now, he's feeling good.
Kyle Johnson, another product out of Long Island University. 7-year pro. He played in Greece, Cyprus, Italy, out of Toronto. Here's Jahi Carson.
Yeah, he needed that one. He's been struggling offensively the last couple of days, and that could propel him because he can score in bunches.
And A.J. Stewart will get tagged for the foul on Royce White.
And just watching I don't know if the Storm know that they really need to sit on Royce White's right hand. I mean, not that he can't go left. And that's the thing is people are like, well, he can go left. I know he can go left because he's a potential NBA player. But he's not as good going left as he is going right. So you have to take that away and just make him think about his left hand first. So we'll see if they do that. I'm going to send them a telegram.
And Wright misses, or excuse me, yes, White misses both of the free throws. He has 12 points now, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And there's Terrell Baines. Boy, the last 2 or 3 games, Baines has been shooting the ball unbelievably.
Yeah, and he's really, the last 10 games or so, he's...
And Friesen drives, gets the bucket and the arm, and he'll head to the charity stripe.
And just a really nice play because they're setting up, the post player is setting up, they like to set up out in that 15-foot area, which allows, there's the shot. He can hit the shot consistently, but they set up in that 14-foot area, and you'll see a lot of NCAA teams do it, where that baseline, that 3 player can curl off that 4 or 5 player who has the ball, and that's exactly what happens. So it's very, very difficult to guard, and London does it very well. Nice set play.
Storm at one point had a 10-point lead, and we're now tied at 46 apiece.
That's good ball movement there.
Ellis is going to try his luck and makes that one. Lets everybody know he hit it for 3.
Great ball movement. And you can see Kyle Julius is upset, so he's into this thing. This game is going to be a good one.
Joe Salerno, happy with what he's seeing from his team. What are they doing defensively that you like as we take a look at this shot here by Hakeem Ellis?
Well, we'll just talk about that. Came off a little modified screen. The 4 player comes up. He's been hot, hits a beautiful shot. Defensively, the Storm are hot and cold. Well, obviously they gave out 10 points in a row, so they're not doing a great job on defending Royce because he's getting to his right hand. But the rest of the team, outside of about 3 or 4 made threes by London, they're defending all the other players fairly well. And when you have a potential MVP in the London Lightning's Royce White, you gotta really buckle down on him and the other players around him. Offensively, the Storm have been fairly hot. They've been hitting their open jump shots. Their big people are coming in and playing and challenging well. It's just a few turnovers in the difference. You know, the Storm have turned the ball over, let's say, 8 times. I would say maybe even 9 or 10, give or take. So that's the difference. Cut down those turnovers. Make sure it goes through your 1 and 2 players to handle the ball and keep attacking.
And one of the problems they had last night, points in the paint. I mean, they gave up way too many points in the paint. Kitchener had 56 in the paint compared to 36 for the Storm. So that's going to be an issue here this afternoon, I would think, for the Storm. They want to combat that.
Well, yeah, they're into it, right? So when you're at home, if you get 1 or 2 jump shots going, you get the crowd into it. Now the crowd's into it more than they were last night. You got to protect your paint as always, and we'll see if they can do it here. You'll see a screen right away coming off the right side. They defended well, yes.
Friesen, spin move. Oh, that's a tough shot. And the follow-up right there by Capers. And then a turnover.
Oh, my goodness. Come on.
Are they counting that? They are counting it.
Yeah, it just...
And Joe Salerno, wow, he's losing it on the sideline.
We'll have to see it again, but technically speaking, that ball did go from outside in, but it was deflected by the person guarding the ball. It's just ridiculous. Watch the end of the game, see how important that 2 points was.
And Joe Salerno's got to be careful here.
He's going to pick one up.
He's going to get a tee if he's not careful. And that alley-oop pass, Capers can't convert. Here's Hakeem Ellis.
Can he do it?
Yes,
oh,
he
baby.
can.
He's on fire. Whoa. There's lightning bolts coming out of his ears.
Wow, the intensity is really picked up in this one. Cardugan's going to drive.
Yeah, that's a foul. Whoa, there's so much happening here. My brain is going to explode.
Joe Salerno's there. He's still talking about that.
Yeah, you see, that's what I said, is that the defender coming in after he laid it in deflected the ball
out of his hands.
And it came in bounds and got it. So, I mean, a lot of stuff happening. But outside of that is that the Storm, like I said to you before, one shot, and they're giving up 1 or 2 dunks after the shot goes up. Keep the guys off the glass.
So 1:42 remaining in the second quarter. A 54-51 lead for the Storm.
Man, this is some of the most exciting basketball I've seen out of the Storm and London all season.
Ellis.
He's on fire, don't forget.
Gets it to Baines. To Heat Carson.
Is that
2
gonna
on the
go?
shot clock.
Oh, big
And
rebound.
then, nice rebound there by Akeem Wright. New shot clock here for the Storm.
Don't go back too far.
He wants a screen.
This guy can handle. He's got Akeem Wright, nice move.
Right.
Yeah, block, absolutely.
And they're going to call Capers on the foul, and he came right out of a shoe.
And there's so many replays we could watch in the last 3 minutes. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was a little bit of a sell job. I mentioned them selling Amway before. That was another kind of a sale job if you ask me. Didn't get it this time.
So under a minute, 59 seconds to be exact, and the Storm with a 3-point lead.
Oh, okay, so watch the offensive rebound here. Okay, watch carefully out of bounds. Watch the ball goes out of bounds.
No, we didn't see it there.
No,
this is the Akeem Ellis.
This is
yeah.
on fire show right here. Maybe got fouled too.
Yeah, but I mean, he had the ball in his hands. He's getting ready to inbound it, and he knocked it basically out of his hands.
Okay, see that? Well, oh man, just one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
I wonder if we could see that one more time.
Maybe he didn't have possession. I don't think it was knocked out, but he didn't have possession.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll watch the whole clip here. Great job for the replays. Is that Ainsley in the truck? Woo. Kristen.
Kristen in the truck.
Yeah. Oh, yes, there it was. Did you see that?
So he knocked it out of his hands?
Oh, that's dirty. Yes. There was somebody else out of bounds that came back in and just said, whoop, and knocked it into his other player, and the ref didn't see it. Because the ref was on the left side of the player, and the player came from the right. One of the weirdest, most interesting things I've seen. Joe Salerno picked it up. He had a very good point.
Wow, he lost his mind there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's frustrating, right? The ref she needs to blow the whistle and do it properly.
Thanks to Christian for giving us those highlights.
Unbelievable.
And now, freezing. And
yeah,
Akeem Wright.
Look at this.
Or Akeem Ellis, and now Royce White having a few words there with Akeem Ellis.
Look at this. It's heating up, man. We're having an amazing time with this game.
We're seeing Joe Salerno lose his mind. Julian Boyd kicks a chair at the London bench.
Oh, man.
Great basketball. Wow, this one's heating up here, folks.
This is why we love the NBL, not because of this rough stuff, but.
And that was freezing as Akeem Ellis didn't like the rough treatment he got there.
Oh, he knew he was going to get a little bump. And then Royce comes in. Whoa, man, I'm going the other way.
Man.
Good for all those players standing up. Don't take it past that, but stand up for each other. And just they blow the personal foul. So good job of reffing too as well. They don't get any credit for reffing usually, and they did a great job there.
Oh, that ball knocked out of the hands there by Baines, as that was Royce White showing you what he can do defensively.
He's getting physical. He's forcing him right. I'd be forcing the other way.
Capers. Johnson. He'll try the jumper. No good. 22 seconds remaining here in this first half. It's been a very entertaining first half of basketball.
I hope the fans in London who are watching are having a good time. We're enjoying bringing you the coverage. 10 seconds left to go.
Last shot now in the half here.
There's your penetrator.
He's going to drive.
Ooh, gets two shots.
He's going to shoot two.
What? And the fans are already cheering. They're excited. This is just the way this league plays. It's fantastic basketball. Watch this, going hard right. Beautiful. And Ryan Anderson's having a tough time of guarding Terry Thomas in that position. His foot speed's just not matching up with Terry Thomas's. So he's gonna have to think about it over half and do a little bit better job coming out.
Terry Thomas makes the first of two, 1.6 seconds remaining in this second quarter, and we've seen a bit of everything.
He's gonna go for a baseball pass.
Pass that goes into the crowd.
Fastball. Fastball right into the front row. Good for that fan. I was seeing before the games quite a bit. Like, he protected about 6 people there. Because, I mean, a Royce White baseball pass, you get a real humdinger there off the head.
Yeah, he pitched that one pretty good. So turnover.
Oh, it doesn't go.
And Team Ellis can't sink it. So, wow. That was an entertaining first half of basketball.
Oh, can you feel our energy up here? Oh, we're pumped.
So there you have it. It's 55-51. Storm leading the London Lightning. Great first half. We're going to have a great second half. Stick with us, folks. We'll come back with our halftime report.
What's in my hockey stick? Mine's full of fun and exploding with exercise. It's stuffed with self-confidence, packed with practice makes perfect, and loaded with leadership. I keep it taped together with teamwork. I think it's made of carbon fiber, though.
Give them the chance to discover what their equipment is made of. Give them the chance to play. Visit sportnovascotia.ca to find out how you can help.
Being part of an Easter Seals camp has really shaped who I am today. My dream is to see every kid in Canada living with a disability go to an Easter Seals camp so they can experience what I have experienced. See ability in disability. See the difference? Be the difference.
Text Easter to 45678. Make your $10 donation today.
Ronald McDonald House provides a place for families to stay when they have a child in hospital. It's a home away from home when you can't be near family and community support. It's a place to relax and connect with others. Ronald McDonald House also has family rooms at the IWK and in the Moncton Hospital for those who need a break or quiet place to pass the time. Families from all over Atlantic Canada are welcome. To learn more or make a donation, go to rmhatlantic.ca.
Now is the winter of our discontent. May it glorious summer, my son.
Alec, dear, since this is one of his most famous speeches, I think it is incumbent upon us.
It's the 805 for Toronto.
Chamber of Commerce guy said to me, Patterson, Stratford has always been a railroad town. And I said, yeah, but I'm planning to change that.
Well, we'll have to hold the curtain until 8:10.
My conscience hath 1,000 several tongues, and every tongue brings in a several tale, and every tale condemns me for a villain. Perjury in the highest degree, foul murder in the direst degree.
When Tom Patterson brought Richard III to a leaky tent in Stratford, Ontario, they started a love affair with festivals that still goes on. The Montreal Jazz, the Toronto International Film Festival, the Yorkton, the Shaw, the innumerable faces of Festival Canada.
Welcome back, everybody, to Charlottetown. At the half, it's the Island Storm. They're leading the London Lightning by a margin of 55-51. Time now for the final edition this season of Inside the AUS. In this edition, Scott Squires and Rachel Alani recap the AUS Winter Championships.
Hi there, and welcome to our final episode of Inside AUS for the 2016-2017 season. I'm Scott Squires, being joined today by our lead reporter, Reza Lalani. And Reza, so many sports taking place in the winter session. Of course, all of the championships taking place pretty close together. We're going to bring everybody up to date on those. But let's start with a sport you're very familiar with, volleyball.
Well, it was an incredible championship from both sides. Just starting with the girls' side for volleyball, it was hosted at St. Mary's University. The Dalhousie Tigers won for the 5th year in a row. And really incredible storyline there for the 5th-year seniors. That was the first time in 47 years that streak was won with 5. So it's just an incredible showing from them. And they played the Memorial Seahawks in the finals. A great showing from that team. But of course, once again, the Tigers prevailed. On the other side, another unique storyline with the guys team. The UNB Varsity Reds took down the Dalhousie Tigers this year with an incredible game. Game 1 was at Dalhousie University. It's a best-of-3 series. And the UNB Varsity Reds played the best game of their lives, told to me by the coaches and by the captain of the team. Just an incredible showing, and they went back home and won it in 2. Well, Scott, while I was at St. Mary's doing volleyball, you were down the street at the Scotiabank Center for the Subway AUS Men and Women's Basketball Championship. So tell us how that went.
Well, of course, TV1, we were so very glad to be there, and it was a really exciting weekend. The Final 6 on the men's and women's side always brings out great crowds. And on the women's side, the Cape Breton University Capers, Coach Fabian McKenzie and his team, they've been there a number of times over the last few years. And perhaps the Acadia Axewomen may have been favored coming in, but it came down to a really exciting final. And Coach Fabian McKenzie and those Cape Breton University Capers, they came out on top and they won the women's title in the AUS this year. So congratulations, of course, to Fabian and the CBU Capers. And then on the men's side, the Dalhousie Tigers, Coach Rick Plato and his side came in a very experienced team. They've been there before, to use that cliche. They were the 2-time defending champions, and they were pushed to the limit a couple of times, but when it came right down to it, very close at the end, but the Dalhousie Tigers clinched their 3rd consecutive Atlantic University Sport men's basketball title in very exciting fashion. And they went on the following week at the Final 8, which is back now being hosted by the Atlantic University Conference, and it was at Scotiabank Center again. And for the first time ever in their school's history, the Dalhousie Tigers won a bronze medal at nationals. So kind of a great couple of weeks all around for the AUS schools.
All right, keeping with the theme of winter championships, let's go to one of the colder sports that we play, AUS Women and Men's Hockey Championships. What an exciting battle that was.
Oh, indeed. Again, so much great quality sports around Atlantic University Sport. And of course, women's hockey came down to the final between the St. Francis Xavier X-Women and the St. Mary's University Huskies. Very much a back-and-forth affair. Teams winning on their home ice. St. Mary's and Coach Chris Lorad winning the first game. Going back to St. FX, St. FX tied the series up. And then, it's like they didn't want it to end, Reza. The 3rd game, the deciding game, are you ready for this? It came down to triple overtime.
Wow.
The 2nd longest game in Atlantic University Sport women's hockey history. And it was Gemma McDonald going down in Husky hockey history. She'll be forever a hero as she scored the overtime winner in that 3rd overtime. And the St. Mary's University Huskies were the AUS champs.
And what about on the men's side?
On the men's side, well, Atlantic University Sport is arguably the toughest hockey conference in all of Canada. Really, any one of the top 4 or 5 teams could go to a nationals and do well. This year, it came down once again to the same 2 teams as last year. St. Francis Xavier X-Men, coached by Brad Peddle, and the UNB Varsity Reds, coached by Gardner McDougall. And there's something about St. FX. They seem to have UNB's number, at least on the AUS side. And St. FX beat UNB in 2 games to claim their 2nd consecutive Atlantic University Sport Championship, but that was on the AUS side. They went to nationals, hosted at the Aiken Center by UNB, and the UNB Varsity Reds got their revenge, and they are back-to-back U Sports national champions. So a great season for St. FX X-Men, and a great season indeed for the UNB Varsity Reds and Coach Gardner McDougall. We'll warm up the championship edition of Inside AUS now. We're going to go from the ice, and we're going to go to melted water. We're going to go poolside. And at this year's Atlantic University Sports Swimming Championships, Reza, a very familiar school in terms of winning banners.
Yes, once again, the undefeated Dalhousie Tigers took it on the men and women's side. And, you know, they had to face a lot of adversity this year. One of the biggest battles they had was they didn't have a pool in the winter semester. So they were going to a local pool to try and train. And, you know, it kind of messed up their times a little bit. But Phoebe Laundrie, Gavin Dyke, two of the stars from the Dalhousie Tiger squad, once again proved to be victorious at the AUS Championships. And a shout out to Phoebe, she got a bronze medal at U Sports as well. Well, let's take a look at another championship, the Subway AUS Men's and Women's Track and Field Championships at U2M. Scott, how did it go?
Well, we just saw how well Dalhousie did in the pool, taking both banners on the men's and women's side in the AUS Subway Swimming Championship. And Dalhousie completed the double in Moncton in track and field as well, as the men's and women's track and field teams take the banners, so Dalhousie continuing their success in track and field.
Here at TV1, we had the pleasure of covering the Subway AUS Curling Championship. So Scott, let's start with the women's side. How did that go?
Well, it was hosted by the Truro Curling Club in Truro, Nova Scotia, and I had the pleasure of doing play-by-play for that event. And on the women's side, St. Francis Xavier, the ex-women, skipped by Emma Logan. They captured the AUS women's title. It was an exciting week of curling, but they did great, and congratulations to Emma and her team.
And what about on the guys' side?
On the guys' side, well, it was good over there as well, because I'm originally from Newfoundland and Labrador, and it was the team from Memorial University, skipped by Adam Boland. They actually were like a hot knife going through butter, the way that they went through that competition, undefeated through the AUS Championship, and they claimed the AUS banner, and they went on to nationals. Again, they went undefeated, and the gentlemen from Memorial University in Newfoundland and Labrador, again skipped by Adam Boland, they captured the U Sports men title. So again, congratulations to Adam Boland from Memorial and to Emma Logan and her St. FX ex-women curling team. It was a lot of fun in Truro.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a big brother?
So what do you want to do this weekend?
I want to go to the Canada Game Center. I want to go swimming on the big yellow slide, which goes outside.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely do that for sure.
Yeah.
Probably go bowling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids with mentors grow up to be more successful adults. Supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters is a great way to have a positive impact on your community. To volunteer or make a donation, go to bigbrothersbigsisters.ca.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, I see a lot of new faces here. Who wants to go first?
I bet the farm on my son playing in the NBA. Literally, I took out a second mortgage on the family farm to pay for basketball camps.
Our Daniel could have played in the NHL.
What is Daniel doing now?
David doesn't like to speak about it.
My son is an astronaut.
Bailey tells me that she doesn't want to play soccer anymore after all the years I put in.
How old is Bailey now?
Going on 7. Why?
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology, so you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Oh, I see a lot of new faces here. Who wants to go first?
I bet the farm on my son playing in the NBA. Literally, I took out a second mortgage on the family farm to pay for basketball camps.
Our Daniel could have played in the NHL.
What is Daniel doing now?
David doesn't like to speak about it.
My son is an astronaut.
Bailey tells me that she doesn't want to play soccer anymore after all the years I put in.
How old is Bailey now?
Going on 7. Why?
What's in my hockey stick? Mine's full of fun and exploding with exercise. It's stuffed with self-confidence, packed with practice makes perfect, and loaded with leadership. I keep it taped together with teamwork. I think it's made of carbon fiber, though.
Give them the chance to discover what their equipment is made of. Give them the chance to play. Visit sportnovascotia.ca to find out how you can help.
Island Storm Basketball on 5TV1 is brought to you by Insight Brand and Marketing Studio. Experience Insight. Just moments away from getting the second half going here between the Island Storm and the London Lightning, and it was a very entertaining first half of basketball. In the Storm, they had themselves a 4-point lead as they lead this one 55-51. What stood out for you, Gordon, that first half?
Well, it was the tempo of the game played a little bit more in the hands of the Storm for most of that, as opposed to one little run there by the Lightning on a 10-0 run in the second quarter brought them back. The Storm kept fighting too, as you see some of the highlights going down. But the Storm really need to say, okay, London did what they had to do. They stayed in the game. They've been on a massive road trip, and now they're right there in a 4-point game. So right now the Storm need to say, hey, clean up the glass and keep things in our pace. Get the ball to our point guard and cut down our turnovers, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can get some good 3-point shooting to take us home in the second half.
And leading the way for London, it is Royce White, as he has 12 points, 4 rebounds. You've got Kyle Johnson, the Toronto native, out of the University of Long Island. He has 9 points. And for the Island Storm, Baines having another interesting afternoon.
Move.
Yeah, he's got 10 points, and Akeem Ellis with 11 points and 4 rebounds. And as we said, Terrell Baines really shooting the ball very well of late.
Oh yeah, Terrell Baines, and then Akeem Ellis came on strong there. You'll see it. Gets his feet set. That's Terry Thomas there, hitting a three. He's usually a penetrator, and they're just shooting the ball very well. They're seeing the target, shooting it well. But this is what's hurting them, is the inside kind of layups and the inside easy stuff. You can't stop this fast break of the London Lightning, so best not to turn it over. And look at that, right in traffic, Royce White. Beautiful stroke on that.
That was, I believe that was Cardugan. Yeah. Take a look at the stat line here, and Terry Thomas with only 6 points. I would imagine you'd like to see him getting involved a little bit more here in the second half.
Marcus Capers. Yeah, Terry Thomas, let the game come to him a little bit. He had an early shot. He's like I said at the top of this, you need more production from the Storm from the 1 position and the 3 position. And I was pretty much talking to Terry Thomas to say, hey, listen, get your confidence back, take it to the basket. You're an all-star in this league. Biggest game of the year for you. Let's see you take the ball hard to the basket. And for Jahi Carson, as you see him coming out there, number 1, he can do all kinds of stuff with the ball. So you've got to really lead this team. Get good shots for Akeem Ellis and whoever's hot at the time. Feed it to the big man, Terrell Baines. Like, he's coming off a back-to-back game. This guy's hungry. He's hungry. He wants the ball inside. So give it to the Baines man.
So here we go. Third quarter action from Charlottetown. Storm with a 4-point lead.
Make sure your defense makes a stand early for the Storm. And that's how you do it. So a missed shot, get the rebound and go. Good start.
Keem Ellis misses and now pushed up the court here. That's Anderson. Easy bucket there for Garrett Williamson.
Yeah, a quick three from the corner, which you're kind of open. Quick three by the Keem Ellis. And then usually if that ball pings off, it starts the fast break for the other team. And that's exactly what happened.
Terry Thomas working against Royce White. Can't get it to go. They push the ball up. Here's Anderson. And
oh, good play by Keem Ellis. That's a huge play.
yes, London couldn't convert there. Just underway here in the third quarter. Shaheed Carson moves in and floats one.
Yeah, and it's important for him to get going and to attack early on so if he can get some points on the board. He's averaging 20 points a game, so.
Boyd too strong off the glass.
Oh,
Bounce
my
pass.
goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
And Terrell Baines just could not finish that play. A great bounce pass by Shaheed Carson. And going baseline there was Williamson. He gets hacked.
That would have sent this building into an eruption.
And against this London team, those are the buckets you need to kind of get, right?
Watch this pass. What?
Yeah.
Just had it, couldn't finish, caught it on the front of the rim.
And those are the buckets you need to convert, right? I mean, especially against this team like London.
Yeah, you said it, Peter. That's exactly. You can't leave those out there. You know, you combine that miss and then that silly out of bounds thing at the start. That's 4 points.
Right.
I mean, any lead against this team is not ever big enough.
The lead right now for the Storm is 2, 57-55. Thomas loses the handle. Turnover. Here's Herring. He'll get it back again. He'll drive off the glass again. Another easy bucket that London just couldn't get.
Yeah, very unusual. That's fatigue, right? They're just on a large. You just got to concentrate. Just fatigue there, but they're getting to start this third quarter. They're getting quality shots, which is dangerous for the Storm. The Storm have been lucky on 3 or 4 plays, so your luck will run out against this team. So make sure your defense stands up.
Storm shooting 47.7% from the field. London 43.7.
Little mismatch.
Baines, oh, wide open. Terry Thomas, and he rolls it in.
Yeah, great pass, great play. Get it into the big man, like I said. Good things will happen.
Thomas looking to be a little bit more active here in the second half. Shaheed Carson defers here to Akeem Wright in the paint, and he turns it over.
Oh, yeah, look at the hands by
that was Herring,
in there.
And then Herring fired a pass that Boyd just couldn't handle. Too hot for him.
Yeah, that was a crisper right there. You could hear his hands. I don't know if you could hear it at home.
Yeah, you could hear it slap off his hands. Yeah. So Herring is going to come out, and Cardugan, he'll check back in here for the Lightning.
And I mean, the Lightning are 21 for 51 from the floor. So, and a lot of those they're just little tiny misses in there. So, I mean, this is the game that the Storm can take.
Baseline
Starts a fast break
there,
again.
Yeah. Baseline shot there by Baines, no good. Back the other way, Williamson. Boyd gets the rebound. Comes over here for Boyd. He's wide open.
Oh, yeah.
And he drains it.
Yeah, that's too easy for him.
He was in the next county there when he knocked that one down.
But it all started from a bad shot into a fast break, and then you're scrambling.
Terry Thomas will try it from deep. Can't hit the tray. Long lead pass here. Williamson.
Oh, get out.
Good defense. A total rejection there by Terry Thomas. Jaheed Carson. And he lays it in. Jaheed Carson going up against Royce White.
Woo! Look out. The speed of this game.
Pace is picking up a little bit. And now Cardugan will slow it down.
He went right after Royce White on that play.
That was impressive. Anderson shot no good, and there's Royce White to follow up and gets the garbage. And let's see. They're going to call a charge.
Looks like
against
a block. One ref called. It's block. Yeah. And that's, I don't know what that symbol means when the ref puts both hands up and looks at the other ref. Help me out. Oh, yeah, so that's a judgment call. You know, it's neat. That's why it's hard to be a referee.
You see Kyle Julius. He's not happy with that call.
No, because clearly Jaheed Carson forced the action. The defender was just reacting, but he didn't have his feet set. So sometimes that's a player control foul. So it could have easily gone, look at this, watch this.
That's against Royce White.
Yeah, one little, then the ball comes gently off. So that was a nice basketball. Great players, 2 all-stars in this league going at each other.
Well, it's interesting. That was the sequence there. Talking to Joe Salerno earlier this week, he said there were 2 guys that should be in the NBA. He said one of them was Jaheed Carson, the other is Royce White. So that's heady praise coming from the Island Storm coach.
Isn't it? Yeah, Carson is definitely, you know, he's 5'10", but he has the biggest vertical on the team. So he can get up and look at this.
Look at the spin move here, but Royce White can't finish, but Boyd does. One-handed jam.
And how do you get an offensive rebound and have enough time to dunk it? It just, come on, Storm, let's go. Defensive rebounding.
There's Akeem Wright from way downtown.
And you see, that's exactly why A.J. Stewart is coming back into the game. But he didn't look very good going to the locker room with an ankle injury. So we'll see if the Storm needs his presence.
Johnson shot off the mark. And Jaheed Carson with it. Finds Terrell Baines. He'll try the baseline jumper. Yes.
I don't think he ever misses that.
Wow, he's been bang on from that distance here this afternoon.
And he came in and talked to some fans before the game, and he was a confident young man. There you see it. A little bit of contact there. Look, just work in the defense, but then the offense, look at that, nobody around. All those guys, you know, when a shot goes up from a post player, that you have to crash. When the shot's up, everybody has to go to and you didn't see it there. So that's a nice play for the Storm to sit around on Monday and watch right there, because that wasn't a very good foul shot. But that's exactly what the Storm need to do to get better. One shot and out.
And talking about Baines, he's got 12 points on 4 of 10 from the field.
And then AJ back in making a difference. Let's see how he's running, because his ankle just did not look good. He needed help getting to the locker room.
Akeem Ellis. Jaheed Carson.
Look at the
Cardugan guarding him. That goes off the leg of Marvin Phillips. And it'll be Storm ball here with about 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Now Royce White is going to come out of the game. He'll sit for a bit. And checking back in is Marcus Capers. Marcus Capers out of Washington State.
And he's having a great game. He's a good player. Comes in and does a lot of little things.
Terry Thomas. Akeem Ellis, he wants to try the tray. And Friesen flies in there, gets the rebound. Here's Cardugan. Friesen. Johnson. He misses. And Terry Thomas will slow the pace down a little bit here. Gets to Carson.
Look at this. You're going to see some showtime.
Right, fakes the shot, gets in the paint, muscles his way through, and then misses.
Yeah, that's the right idea. Try to get the contact and go.
Kyle Johnson hits the rim, and now Hakeem Wright will slow it down. Here's Jahi Carson.
Oh, nice speed.
Wants to drive, and he gets fouled. I believe that'll be against Cardugan.
Yeah, and that's what makes him so good. Just that change of pace, that change of speed that Jahi Carson has. Amazing.
Okay, the Storm lead this one 66-62. 5:11 remaining in the third quarter. We come back to Charlottetown right after this.
Is that 5 TV?
Oh, you know it, man.
With ultra stunning 4K picture quality.
I love using Restart.
I use that all the time.
We love having Crave TV and Netflix right on it.
I'm having all my TVs set up wirelessly. It's amazing.
Can you imagine some people still don't have 5 TV?
I don't have it. Because I was living abroad.
With so many reasons to love 5 TV, it's time to make the switch to the best TV service.
Oh, sorry.
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 Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Island Storm Basketball on 5 TV1 is brought to you by Shamrock Trust, a proud partner of the Island Storm with locations in Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland. Welcome back to Charlottetown, everybody. Peter Ruckazer alongside Gordon McNeely and the 5 TV1 crew, and we've got a great game on our hands here, folks. 5:11 remaining in the third quarter, and the Island Storm looking to try to take down the top team in NBL Canada, the London Lightning. They lead this one by 4.
Yeah, and London not shooting the ball very well at all today. So to be in this a 4-point game, you know, the Storm need to really capitalize on possessions like that. So they're only getting one shot at the basket. Nobody's offensive rebounding. Quality shots needs to come up here in the last 4 minutes of this third quarter.
Marvin Phillips gonna drive here on A.J. Stewart.
Oh,
and a lot of easy buckets have been left on the floor here by London.
We sure have, and it's, yes!
Speaking of easy buckets, Jahi Carson with a pinpoint pass right there to Hakeem Wright.
So good, so good. Jahi Carson finding his big man, and that's the quality of shot that you need.
Here's Marvin Phillips. Air ball there. Capers is in there, fights for it, and then loses it. Thomas will push the court. Here's Akeem Ellis from the corner. And
Boys,
he gets the roll.
They needed that to go, didn't they?
Wow. Kyle Johnson.
Foul.
And
good play out of a
foul.
timeout.
Yeah, foul against London. Here's the shot here by Akeem Ellis.
Yeah, you got to be good to be lucky, or something like that.
Lucky to be good, something, yeah.
I don't know. But, you know, they had a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2, and they chose the corner 3. So if you do that, that's the hardest shot. To me, that's the hardest shot in basketball. So, you know, or you're passing up maybe a layup on a 3-on-2 to hit it. That guy, you got a lot of faith in that guy from the corner. Trying to go right hard. Look at the defense. They know that they have to stop Jahi Carson right now.
Wow, here's Carson, and he can't convert. White brings it back the other way, and again, another easy bucket that London can't get. That was Capers who couldn't sink it. Ellis is going to try it from three-point range.
Oh, not
no
this
good.
time.
And the pace has really picked up once
Yeah.
again here in the third quarter.
Joel Friesen had some good defense going on there.
Friesen, no good. Long-range pass here for Al Stewart.
Yeah.
With an easy lay-in. So London, their defense has collapsed a little bit on them here in the third quarter.
Yeah, now it's kind of changed where London shots are leading to Storm fast breaks. and they're not getting the quality of shots. You notice in the first half, they were able to pound it in the post. Now it's all dribble drive.
A turnover forced by Al
Place is going
Stewart.
to erupt.
And that brings everybody to their feet here in Charlottetown. A 75-62 lead for the Island Storm. Trying to slay the Dragon here, the top team in NBL Canada.
Look at the hustle.
And, yeah, great hustle right there by Jahi Carson.
Wow. And that's a crazy quick steal by the former NBL Defensive Player of the Year right there. And Jahi Carson coming in on Royce White. He wanted that ball. He was in the prone position, reaching for that. That's how good Royce White's handle is, though. He didn't give it up. Foul was called. Seeing some really, really good basketball today. I hope everybody's enjoying it in Ontario. Our good friends in Ontario. We love London. And you're enjoying the coverage here with Peter and Gord.
Storm shooting 48.3% from the field. And another turnover. And then Kyle Johnson puts the clamps on Jahi Carson.
Then Carson's coming out to play today. Last night, the defense took his game away. Today, he's taking the game to the opposing players and trying to send a statement to the league.
And as we mentioned, a lot of that had to do with a great defense from Adam Blazek of Kitchener-Waterloo, who had a great game also offensively shooting the ball. So today, Jahi Carson back in form. As we mentioned, he went into this game third in NBL scoring, averaging 21.5 points.
Yeah.
Here's Whack as he's
leaning a little bit on that, leaning
see
forward.
some action here. He's been out of the game for a bit.
2 minutes left to go. So the defense of the Storm is something that we did not see last night at all. So good for Joe Salerno and his crew coming in and buckling down.
Inside for Criswell. Nortman, who's had a heck of a game defensively, and then that's Singleton as he floats one in. 75-65, 10-point lead. That is not safe against this London team. There's tons of basketball left to be played. 1:35 remaining in the third.
It's a mismatch here.
Nortman, nice bounce pass here for Al Stewart. Stewart stays with the process and gets the deuce. The crafty old veteran.
What? This game.
Again, another big
Look at
defensive
this.
play by Nortman. And there's Coach Julius. He's almost on the court.
Wow, look at what's happening here. Julius is out in the middle of the center court. He has to be pulled aside.
Is he getting a tee? Yes, he's getting a tee. That was Marcus Caper. Capers had to come on the court to drag him up. Now he's coming right on the court.
What? The crowd is going ballistic. Now there's a loving with the referee.
Boy, oh boy, we've seen a bit of everything here.
That's Kyle Julius. I know his dad, Stu Julius.
He's the general manager of Kitchener.
Yeah, great basketball coach in his day up in Ontario. Good basketball family. Great player there. Kyle was a great player as well. He wanted the foul there.
Wow.
Didn't get it. You can see him coming in the left side of your screen. Almost right. He almost defended G. Carson. He's on the floor.
And I'm just wondering now, has Coach Julius been kicked out of this game? Yes, he has.
Oh, my goodness.
He's getting his Gatorade and he's heading to the dressing room.
Oh, no.
So the coach has been kicked out for London. Now the assistants will have to take over. A technical was assessed to Kyle Julius. Yeah, you mentioned the Julius family. I mean, they're basketball through and through.
Oh,
yeah. Kyle, he played CIS basketball. He played in Italy.
Yeah.
And
he's
coached,
intense, yeah.
And he's coached at a lot of different levels.
And his dad, like I have a daughter who played, and I remember at a key point in my daughter's career, Stu really helped out my daughter Kiara, and she never forgot it. So thanks a lot to that family. Even in the Maritimes, their basketball influence is very prominent.
Well, there will be no influence from here on out for Kyle Julius on his team as he's been kicked out of this game.
Yeah, we'll have to be nice to him because he's probably in there watching the game, tuning in to us already up here. So
Nortman.
Yeah, that's footwork issues.
And it gets called for travel. Nortman, he's had limited minutes here, but boy, he has been very good in what time he's been given by Coach Salerno.
Yeah, and who's taking over? Because we just have one head coach on the roster. So if you have your Twitter open, I know some London people would know more. We just have the head coach on the roster here, so we'll have to ask the shop, maybe the truck, to see who's going to take over the team there.
Under a minute. That shot's no good from Ryan Anderson. And there's Al Stewart. He'll slow things down a little bit. .35 seconds remaining. And a turnover here. Here comes Anderson. And Akeem Ellis knocks Anderson down and drives him right into the signage. And now Anderson, he wanted to go back at Akeem Ellis. And we've had a couple of flare-ups in this game. Watch this drive here. Or attempted drive as Akeem Ellis laid the forearm into Anderson.
And here comes the cavalry. And that's what you have to do. You don't have to bump, but it's been physical all game long.
And that's Singleton having a few words there with Ellis. Ellis has been in the fray a little bit with this London team a couple of times. And boy, this game is really heated up here. 28.8 seconds remaining in the third. It's a 78-64 lead for the Storm.
This NBL league, love it. Unbelievable. Listen, get out there and support these teams, because these kids are working like this is the Final Four out there. And it's great basketball to watch. So NBL in Canada, come on. Is there anything better?
So a flagrant foul, I would imagine, has been called.
So that means that there's they get 2 shots on the basketball. So they get a flagrant. For the refs call that trying to keep the game under control. I mean, he had a clear path to the basket,
right?
And you obstruct that path. It's very dangerous to.
Here's Herring.
Look at the defense
Al
on Stewart.
Trying to stay on him. Loose ball. Al Stewart gets it, and then he gets knocked down. That was accidental. That wasn't on purpose. As Criswell, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, defensive lineman, as a matter of fact, runs into him.
Watch Stewart. Watch Al Stewart. Like, he gets down low, takes the ball. And there's a foul. How did we? Oh, the foul was before? So I'm not sure why. I thought the foul was on Stewart.
Nonetheless, 9 seconds remaining here.
Oh.
Here's Anderson. He's going to drive.
You
Loose
see
ball.
that screen?
Wow. And a foul.
If we can see the replay on that, that screen at the top of the key was enormous. Illegal or unillegal, it was like this game, this fourth quarter is going to be, watch this screen. It's late, it's moving, and it's on purpose.
That was Criswell, the former D-lineman with Saskatchewan. There you go. His football knowledge came into good use there.
I mean, this fourth quarter is going to be something else. We're going in, it could be about 11 or 10-point game here.
That's one thing that Coach Julius talked about. His teams, they set a lot of ball screens. And there was an example of one right there.
The physicality and the way the Storm have played for 3 quarters, I'm very impressed. And, you know, there was 2 or 3 plays there that could have gone fouls on either way. So Storm have an 11-point lead. Man, this fourth quarter, you cannot turn your computers off. Keep watching, because, wow.
Okay, we're going to take a break. That does it for 3 quarters of basketball. It's 78-67, Storm in front of the Lightning. We come back to Charlottetown in just a bit.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Welcome back, everybody. We featured Al Stewart, I believe, last night on the Alsco Kiss Off the Glass, and we're going to feature him once again.
Yeah, and just huge, crazy hands. Smallest guy on the floor, biggest heart. Oh, gets up nice and high to keep the run going. That's Al Stewart. Watch this, bang! He just anticipates where's the ball's going to be and then finishes strong. He's kissing that glass off the glass, baby. Woo!
Al Stewart, crafty old veteran. Been around for a while. He's been with Coach Salerno for a number of years. And he's doing a great job coming off the bench.
Yeah, and both these teams are fired up to start the fourth quarter.
Here's Whack as he drives, can't complete it. Back the other way, now comes London. Singleton, too strong, and a foul against the Storm. Or excuse me, foul against London.
Oh yeah, because I didn't see much of a foul there, so either way, I don't know. Just keep going the other way. This is going to be fast and furious fourth quarter.
Whack is into the game, as is Al Richter.
And Peter, we've seen this before with the Storm with big leads in the fourth quarter. They haven't been able to sustain them. So the first 4 or 5 minutes of this fourth quarter is going to be really crucial.
Ryan Anderson off the mark. Criswell crashes the glass. Loose ball, somebody's got to get it.
Oh, yeah.
Storm doing, they push it up the court. Here's Akeem Ellis, drives. And he's hacked, and he'll go to the charity stripe.
Yeah, and that's important for the Storm to get to the foul line right away to start this fourth quarter and stop the clock, because you just want to see if you can get some points on the board.
So right now, leading the way for the Storm, you've got Akeem Ellis. He has 14 points, 4 of 9 from the field. And then for London, it is Royce White. He's got 14 points on 6 of 9 from the field.
But he didn't play much in the third quarter.
Yeah, he didn't see a lot of time. He's out there right now in the fourth, so they gave him a little bit of a rest, so you're going to see a lot of the numberless Royce White.
And it really made a difference not having him on the floor.
Here's White against Baines. Double team comes in. He has no problems with the double team. No. I mean, he just brushed those two defenders aside like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Here's Al Stewart.
Oh.
Again, Al Stewart turning the corner.
He's having himself a leadership type game. Team captain, just a great young man. Yeah, they love their Al Stewart here in Prince Edward Island, I tell you that.
So a foul against Terrell Baines, and Terrell Baines has to come out. A.J. Stewart will come in, and Baines a little frustrated with himself.
Yeah,
Storm have some fouls. Fourth. Storm have some fouls to give. Here's Anderson. He came off the screen. Loose ball picked up by Capers.
Two guys ran at the shooter, and that's where the ball came back. So second chance point opportunities here.
Anderson directing traffic. Herring.
Good defense.
Ellis like a handcuff on Herring. Inside, though. And that's Williamson off the glass and in. 82-71. Plenty of ball left to be played. 10 minutes remaining in regulation. Al Stewart. Ellis thinking about shooting. He's going to drive. Teardrop is good.
Really playing well. Again, this is he's only played a few games for the Storm. Turns out to be a very good addition. tough on both ends, really playing well.
Here's White.
What do you do here?
A.J. Stewart trying to clamp down on him.
Oh, good defense by A.J. Stewart.
A.J. Stewart, and he had a little sarcastic glance there at Royce White.
Wow. Look, he just keeps his body moving where the offensive player wants to move. Tries to draw the contact. Just, that's how you do it. And he's going to try to answer back. Does he have the offensive skills? He does.
And a foul against Royce White.
And this kid is AJ is tough. Two guys were taking him off the floor. He couldn't put weight on his right ankle, and now he's back playing basketball in the third quarter. So kudos to the toughness of this young man.
Al Stewart, he wanted to give it to Richter. He's going to drive himself.
Oh.
Throws it up. Can't get it. Anderson brings down the rebound. Alley-oop here. Capers to White. He's going to drive, and he got handcuffed there a little bit by Rashad Wack. As Wack kind of locked arms with Royce White. White started his NCAA career with University of Minnesota, then went to Iowa State. He is a distant relative, get this, of Dave Winfield.
He looks like Dave Winfield.
So there's athletic genes in his background.
The New York Yankees slugger, maybe. Or he played for a bunch of different baseball teams.
Played for the Jays, the Yankees.
Yeah. Wow.
San Diego Padres, I believe, to start his career. So
wow.
8:48 remaining here in the fourth.
Quality shots you're looking for if you're the Storm. Good ball moving thus far, but I'm not seeing anybody want to pull the string here on a penetration. Oh, wait.
Look at Al Stewart. Richter with the fake. Baseline J. Clock runs out.
Tough shot.
Here's Royce White. And Royce White with an easy jam.
What is that? That's fantastic. Just so strong.
His movements are effortless.
Yeah.
Here's Akeem Ellis. No good. Brought down by Williamson.
You got to get back here.
And they're going to call a travel on Capers.
Yeah, and watch this. Watch. He absorbs the contact. Well, pushes off a little. But when you're him, you can get it done. And then just knows where he's going. So many people get pushed off the ball way too easily. And listen, go watch some of his YouTube clips because you're going to learn a lot.
Turnover by the Storm. And Anderson gets the hoop and the harm.
So this is problem time for the Storm. Like, you know, you turn the ball over, they're coming back, and it starts a fast break. So buckle down right now and make sure you get your defense set. You do that by getting good quality shots. Like, that's just a turnover. You're looking at where you want to pass, and then you just throw it up there. And defense in this league's too good. You got to fake the other way, make a pass. Get back to doing fundamental things in the fourth quarter.
And it's been well documented, this Storm team, they have problems closing out games in the fourth quarter.
Like that turnover, instead of you getting a shot, it gets the other team three shots at the back, or 3 points, and you don't even get a shot up. So make sure you get that ball moving. Oh, perfect. Sorry about that. That was our friend. We were getting some information. So the assistant coach is Doug Plum.
So he's taken over here from Coach Julius. Rebound.
Thanks, Matt. It's our friend. Good effort there.
And there's Royce White. He gets fouled. And I see Coach Julius. You might see him at the top of your screen there by the score clock. He's in the hallway. So he's watching from the hallway.
So Doug Plum's taking over for them. Don't know much about him, but seems to be pretty confident and controlled over there. Again, if you're just tuning in, Kyle Julius got ejected from the game probably about 15 minutes ago. I'm not sure if he can coach the next game. Some leagues, when you get an ejection, you get
right.
So
Right now, Storm up 84-79.
And it's getting a little stagnant again. This is what I worry about with the Storm.
And there you go, another turnover. Up the court. Oh, look at the ball movement here. And Williamson finishes it off. And that London Lightning bench, they are ecstatic.
Yeah.
And they should be.
Yeah, you can't just telegraph the ball. If you get tight, everybody knows it. They know where the people are supposed to be, and then you can't stop this fast break. Look at how beautiful that is.
That was a beautiful no-look pass there by Ryan Anderson.
You got trouble now.
Wow, there's a reason why this team is 27-4. They're coming back into this one. Storm lead it by 3. We're going to step out. We'll come back with more Storm basketball on 5TV1.
Is that 5TV?
Oh, you know it, man.
With ultra stunning 4K picture quality.
I love using Restart.
I use that all the time.
We love having Crave TV and Netflix right on it.
And having all my TVs set up wirelessly, it's amazing.
Can you imagine some people still don't have 5 TVs?
I don't have it. Because I was living abroad.
With so many reasons to love 5TV, it's time to make the switch to the best TV service.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Welcome back, everybody. Peter Ruckgazer, Gord McNeely, the entire 5TV1 crew here in Charlottetown. And boy, we're going to have a great finish to this one, I think, as the Storm had a 10-point lead on the London Lightning, and now that has shrunk to a 3-point lead as the Lightning, they have fought back in this one, Gord.
Yeah, quality of shots, if any shots. You're turning the ball over more than you're getting shots in this fourth quarter. So they need shots against this tough defense.
Jahi Carson working on Williamson.
He's working hard to get anything off.
Again, another turnover, and they can't afford to be turning the ball over so easily. Here's Herring. He'll try for 3. And Baines brings it down.
Yeah, and you can see the quality of defense for the London Lightning. They can just turn it up, and they don't give you anything. So that means you got to move the ball. People need to keep cutting and moving hard and shifting the defense.
This is Baines. That's a tough shot.
That might have been a pass.
Was it a pass?
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it's a turnover once again. And there's Royce White driving, and he gets fouled. Yeah, they've just turned the ball over way too many times here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and watch this. Fakes his right. Before in the first half, I said force him left. Never mind. So he's just a quality, he's an NBA type player, and I mean that's what you're seeing here.
And Coach Salerno, when I was talking to him this week, he said you're going to see, very fast in this game, you're going to see who stands out the most. If you don't know who Royce White was, you'll figure out who he is.
Yeah.
Based on his credentials and the way he plays, and yeah, it's not hard to tell, who Royce White is on this basketball court. He sets himself, he's above the other players on the court here.
And the one weakness in his game, he only shoots at about 54% from the free throw line. So you'll see Hacker-Royce here. Everybody back. It'll be the Storm. Everybody back.
This is Anderson. Herring. Royce White. Anderson's going to put this one up. Loose ball. Oh, Friesen. Are you out of town or what?
Wow.
Give me a break. Wow, that was great hustle there. How he got that rebound, I have no idea.
Well, he was blocked out. Jahi Carson did a good job blocking him out, but then he just gives up a lot. Jahi Carson's only 5'10", so he just came over the top.
But the angle with which he got that ball just amazed me.
Yeah, you'll see here, he's blocked out. He just came over the top. Just kept the ball alive.
Yeah.
He's 6'6" versus 5'10".
Yeah.
G. Carson can jump, but it takes a 5'10" guy just to get up to 6'6". It takes him about like a split second, and then he can jump up higher than that. So good hustle play to tie this game up.
84 apiece now. Akeem Ellis, he'll try three. And he makes it. That gets the crowd involved a little bit.
What a huge shot. They should be looking for him. He's got 17 on the day, 18 points on the afternoon. So, and here's the mismatch.
Oh, good strip there by G Carson on
quick
Herring.
hands.
And then Herring is going to get called for the foul.
Oh.
And here's Friesen. Friesen having his opinion being heard, and now Capers comes in and tells him to settle down. Wow, there's been some flashpoints in this contest here this afternoon.
Watch here, see if he gets hit in the head. Oh, right there, yeah. It was
kind of incidental contact, wasn't it? So
but he was going after the ball. It would have been his foul first. So it's one of those things where, oh boys, that's what happens.
There's Akeem Wright. He's gonna drive, and he's fouled. You know, last night in the game, we talked a little bit about the Canadians in the game last night. I mean, some of the Canadian players that Kitchener had, you know, Celeste, he played fantastic. Greg Morrow really impressed me. And today, the Canadian players, Joel Friesen out of the University of Alberta has been very good. You've got Kyle Johnson, who saw some minutes out of Long Island University. He's from Toronto. I mean, the Canadian players in this league, and Terry Thomas, who plays for the Island Storm, they have been very, very good. I've been impressed with the Canadian players.
There's so much quality players in the CIS or U Sport now. You know, you're going to see more and more of those Canadian talent come in and get a chance in this league, and they're going to perform because they work. Cadogan, there's another Canadian at the point.
Canadian, right?
Played at Marquette. Look at the power.
And there's Royce White. Wow, he made it look easy.
It's like, you know, when you're 7 years old and you go and play with the big boys.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. It just takes you, they just do whatever they want. So, on the basketball court, so.
Yeah, you talked about Cardugan. He got Marquette to the Elite Eight. And he helped Canada win a silver medal at the Pan American Games just a couple years ago in Toronto. So another great Canadian player on this London team.
Yeah, nice kid. His family's most surely watching. And a shout out to all the families who are watching who have players playing. If they've made it in this league, just take an extra second and tell them how proud you are of them, because this is professional basketball and it doesn't get any better.
You know, it was interesting in my conversation with Kyle Julius, Lightning head coach. He said, listen, I played in Italy. I played in the league. When I played there, they were having their 50th anniversary of the league that he was playing in Italy. This is a league 5 years old, and he says it's only going to get better. And he's hoping that, you know, they can get some more sponsorship deals and just grow this league a little bit more. And he says there's two types of Canadians in this league. There's Canadians that play Division II, Division III in the States, or CIS basketball here in Canada, that want to find out if they're professional basketball players. And there's Canadians who went over to Europe, had success, and now they just want to come home and play.
Yeah.
And this league provides them that opportunity.
Yes, and that was a crazy stand by Akeem Ellis. Basketball fans squared up, kept gets his hips low, and forced a travel there, and just on Friesen, Joel Friesen traveled. So, that's 3 minutes, 35 seconds left. That's what you need if you're a Storm fan, is plays like, backdoor, baby.
Here's Akeem Ellis, and what a pass. Now they got to get back on D.
Yeah, two guys on Royce White.
White getting double teamed, gets out of the double team. They swing it around. Here's Friesen from the corner.
Oh, man.
Friesen hitting it.
I thought Royce White would have traveled, but they could easily call a foul in there. So play on. I like that. Good job, reffing.
Here's Akeem Wright.
What a layup by, Storm. Akeem is just this game. 2 minutes 52. I wish it wouldn't end.
Yeah, you got your bang. Bang for the buck in this one, and here is Baines, and he gets fouled big time.
As the shot clock was coming to a close, and that's what the Lightning are talking about, tapping the top of their head. Watch this. I don't think we can see. Oh, that was that underneath scoop shot by the hottest guy on the floor. Hakeem Ellis, welcome to PEI, man. This place is loving you. 23 big ones tonight.
And we've mentioned it before with Hakeem Ellis. Here's the foul as Royce White went over top of him.
He even fouls well. I mean, not too much body. He's like, what? Because he actually made a good play on the ball.
But with Hakeem Ellis, we've said this before, he brings so much energy and so much spirit to this Island Storm team. A great acquisition by head coach Joe Salerno as Baines heads to the line here.
Yeah, and Hakeem Ellis, there's Hakeem Ellis and Hakeem Wright for the Island Storm, and neither of these players were here even 35 days ago. So and they're playing big minutes. They made a big change here, so it takes that team that long to get used to and in sync with their roster.
Hakeem Ellis, he played in the British Pro League for a bit. And you've got Hakeem Wright. He's just been all over the world playing professional basketball. Friesen drives, can't convert, loose ball.
And you need to scoop that one up. You're the Storm. Look at them working hard.
There's Dugan. Friesen's going to drive. And they wave off.
Foul on the
shot
floor.
And a foul, yes, on the floor there against the Storm.
And Friesen is really taking over in a few key plays and keeping the ball alive and making sure he's in there. He averages 11.3 points per game, so incredibly respectful there.
And that's Williamson that gets the bucket. Now the Lightning on a bit of a press here. Thomas escapes that press, gonna drive. Finger roll is good.
Oh, yeah. Terry Thomas will get himself up to 12 big points today, so none bigger than that one.
Thomas has been a little quiet here in this game, but that's a big bucket for the Storm as you see him drive.
There's nobody faster in the open floor. And then to slow down and finish that over the top of the front of that rim. Wow.
And a timeout call here.
5-point game, 2 minutes left to go. Oh, get some popcorn and get right back.
Now, if you're Joe Salerno, what do you want to focus on here? What's the main emphasis?
Well, trying to make sure that the key players like Joel Friesen making it hard, Ryan Anderson, you know, those type of players do not get touches. Royce White does not get anything. If Royce White now, you're in 2 minutes, if he starts to go to the basket, you got to think foul first. But he's so hard to foul, you'll foul him and he'll still make the basket. So make sure if you're going to foul Royce White, do it early. For the Storm, let's get out and run, get the ball in Jahi Carson's hands, penetrate, and then you got to get the ball back to your shooter, Hakeem Ellis, who's been on fire today. So that's what I would do. And then after that, get down, buckle down. You got a 5-point lead against the best team in the NBL right now. This would go a long way to starting your playoff run. Buckle down and take this game home.
So 2:04 remaining. As there you see Kyle Julius, head coach of the Lightning. He's been kicked out. He's watching in the hallway here by the dressing room.
Yeah, and taking over is Doug Plum.
96-91 lead. A much better defensive effort here this afternoon from the Storm as opposed to last night against Kitchener. Kitchener just got way too many easy buckets last night.
They were good.
They just simply sliced and diced the D of the Storm.
And Hakeem Ellis is saying, come on, everybody. Let's get pumped up here.
As you see Cardugan at the line.
So the Storm are big. So Jahi Carson is really their only ball handler, maybe Hakeem Ellis. So 3-point game here, 2 minutes left to go. And a much better fourth quarter for the Storm. Best fourth quarter we've seen of them in the last 10 games.
That's for sure. Fourth quarters have been their Achilles heel. Here's Terry Thomas.
Oh!
Drains it for three.
Whoa.
Wow, he's been mostly quiet in this game, but he's come up big here with a couple of buckets.
Oh, that's a big three by TT.
Inside pass by White as he gets it to Capers.
Can't go to sleep. Terry Thomas has been working on that three-point shot, and did it ever look good from the corner there?
1:25 remaining in regulation.
You need something good. You want to get fouled. You want to get going to the basket with 7 seconds left. This is 9, 8 seconds left. You're going to see penetration. Cuts the corner.
And a foul on Akeem Wright.
Yeah, and a huge penetration play against Williamson. There's Terry Thomas's three. Finished strong, nice and high release, and a great follow through on that. He's fired up.
So, big shots here at the free throw line. And Wright makes the first of 2. 5-point lead now.
It'll give him 14 on the day.
And he makes both of them.
You'll start to see maybe a few more timeouts. I think that the Lightning have a couple timeouts left.
So Kardugan is going to come out of the game. Herring will come back in.
And they're bringing him in for three-point shooting. So they'll pop him in the corner, and then he'll just stand there. Ryan Anderson will just stand exactly. He's down in the corner. You'll see him in the left-hand corner trying to spread the floor.
Here's
oh,
Friesen,
man.
And he's going to shoot 3. As Ellis, well, Friesen got him up in the air and got him to foul.
And this is, you know, it's coming. You know, it's so frustrating because every team runs this. They put two corner shooters down the end, bring their 4 or 5 player up to set a screen on the point guard, and the Storm seem to get caught more often than not. Plus, one of the things here, Peter, is that when you're ahead, you want the clock to keep going, and the Lightning want to stop the clock. So they get to stop the clock, and then they just hit 3 shots. So it's a kind of a double whammy.
So the Storm will take a timeout here and talk things over. 101-98 for the Island Storm. Okay, we're going to check out for a bit, folks. Pay some bills. We'll come back and at the conclusion of this great basketball game. Storm leading it 101-98 over London.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology, so you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Cares about the Masters. Boy, this has been a fantastic game here this afternoon. The Storm and the London Lightning, and the Storm hanging on to a 101-98 lead. Great NBL Canada action this afternoon in Charlottetown.
Here we go.
Down to crunch time now.
So they'll take some time off the clock. They'll try to get it in a penetrator's hands. You'll see a ball screen come. Here it comes. Gonna go left. Gets the mismatch.
Oh, reaching foul there.
Foul was called by the third official. Wow, because if that's going the other way.
Now, I see Jaheed Carson, he was complaining.
Because when he went off that right here, yeah, you saw his hand go back. And that's why, because he got his hand for sure. Great job.
Okay.
With the replays here.
So Jahi Carson goes to the line here. Ooh, missed that one. And when you get to the charity stripe at this time, I mean, they're so crucial to sink your free throws.
Yeah, and he's a good foul shooter. He'll hit this one. There it is.
And he makes the second.
And that's a big difference. It gets you up to a 4-point. That means it's a 2-possession game. So there's your screen. Nice screen action.
Anderson, almost picked off. And for Royce White, and he just jams it down one hand.
And that play at center court, you saw it. That could have gone either way. The Storm player was coming in. The ball was coming. But if the ball does not change possessions, you're in a deficit position, and that's why you got the dunk. What a game. Here it comes. Here's the pass, the lazy pass. Whoa, and now you're in trouble because now you're going 5-on-4. Causes the defender in the middle to make a decision. And when you're dealing with Royce White down there, it's always going to be a bad decision.
Wow, great no-look pass there by Doug Herring.
Unbelievable. What a game.
Herring, another one of those players, got great pro experience. Played in Greece and Italy. He's averaging, going into this one at least, 13.1 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, 7.7 assists per game. And a lot of these guys, they shoot so well on this London team. Everybody, it almost seems they're in the 40 range, mid-40s. And in the case of White, he's shooting 56.3%.
Yeah. Listen, some scenarios here, 36.6 seconds left. That means that London will get the ball back. Okay, so what the Storm want to do is they want to take as much time off that shot clock. London will get the ball back with 12 seconds left no matter what. But make sure you get a good shot. And listen, you don't want a three that creates, you don't want some crazy three from the corner that's going to give a fast break to London. You want to make sure your shot's good, try to get to the foul line, work hard. Ball's got to go to Jahi Carson. London's going to come down with time. And this game is pretty close to being, it could be extended.
There's Jahi Carson.
That's what we're talking about. You'll see the screen come. All the teams use this play. Spreads the floor out.
Wright wants to get to that screen. Gets impeded a little bit.
Okay, there's your mismatch. 8 seconds left to go. There's the
And
foul.
there's the foul
And the
the
one.
bucket. No, they're going to wave it off. And Joe Salerno's going crazy on the sideline.
Oh, boys. But, you know, I think that was the right call because the foul was, watch it right here. Foul's there. Shot's there. It's after the 2 steps. Like, referees in this league are way, way, way better than you think they are. Like, that's an instant call right there. So he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Peter, why this is good is because your defense allows itself to set itself. And Lightning will call a timeout, no doubt, after the second shot.
Oh, that one there by Jahi Carson just rims out. See if he can make the second here. 102-100, Storm by 2. And the second is made. And now London, they'll call a timeout and try to devise something here.
Yeah, so what you're going to start, this is so exciting. What you're going to start to see, I think, what London will do is they'll bring the ball in, they'll reverse it, and there you see
That's Kyle Julius as he's pacing. He doesn't want to watch. He's down the hallway. That's it. I don't want to watch anymore.
Do we not have the best camera crews in the league? We got a shot of pacing coach.
Our crew doing a fantastic job here this afternoon.
What you'll start to see here, I think, is the ball will come in, and a lot of teams use this. Though I look at it as like it's a double wheel. So you're starting to see you're going to get 3 guys moving in a circle in this direction as the other 2 guys move in the opposite direction, kind of to create movement on the floor.
Right.
Then the shot clock will go down. You'll see the 4-player come out, set a screen for the point guard to try to hit the guys in the corner. But listen, London has a decision to make. Are they going to go for the quick 2? Are they going to go for the quick 2 and then play defense and foul and then, you know, try it that way? Or are they going to go for the 3 and the win? So that's up to a young assistant coach who's been forced into a situation at the end of games. For the Storm, no fouls. You're in this position right now because you fouled the shooter in the corner mere 2 minutes ago and put him to the line 3 times. You can't let that happen again. So buckle down.
So here we go, folks.
Yeah, 3-point game.
Everybody's up here in Charlottetown.
Here it
This
comes.
is Herring.
That's it. And a bump and foul. Is that shooting? That's shooting.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You'll see some subs in right now, some offensive, defensive subs in.
So AJ Stewart and Baines are going to come in here for a whack.
And they're coming in to protect on these foul shots, to protect the second shot, so that you have the biggest guys on your team in there rebounding. And then you'll see a timeout, and then I think Joe Salerno is going to go with 2 point guards to finish this game. He'll bring Al Stewart in.
So Anderson comes out for London, and coming back into the game is number 15.
And why that foul is so bad is because they stopped the clock for the London Lightning. So it extends the game. Oh, he misses first one.
And Herring misses that one.
If this goes in, the Storm will call a timeout to advance the ball to center. You got to block out Royce White here.
And
there's the timeout.
Timeout called by Coach Salerno.
And you see he's making subs, and he's bringing in
No
ball
timeout.
handlers.
Okay, he wants to bring in
He's bringing in ball handlers. So you cannot turn the ball over here. Jahi Carson, Rashid Wack on the floor. They'll break hard to the ball.
Ball comes to Wack, and Wack gets fouled. The London bench said that he traveled. And they are very upset there on the London bench. They thought there was a travel.
And the ref's not going to call that this late in the game. London Lights know that. Watch one. Yeah, the foul's there.
Yeah.
There's no travel there.
Yeah.
It just looked a little bit out of control because the player was flying in the air. But good for Wack coming in. You know, just got subbed in about 3 seconds before, and makes a huge play to get the inbound and get to the foul line. So
Wack goes to the line. 6.3 seconds remaining. The Storm up by 2.
What
up by
a
3
basketball
now.
game,
This has been
Peter.
a great game. Unbelievable. The #1 team in NBL Canada on the verge of having their 9-game winning streak snap. Comes Herring. Anderson will try 3. No good.
And this is a big win for this Island Storm program, folks. The crowd's on their feet.
A big victory. They did not look good last night against Kitchener-Waterloo. And they come right back less than 24 hours later, and they beat the #1 team in the NBL, 105-101. How much does this help this Island Storm team moving forward with the playoffs basically 3 weeks away?
Well, it really helps them because, as you see some highlights there, they didn't play well last night and bounced back. So they know that every game is important from here on in, and they did it defensively. Kudos and shout out to the Island Storm players who buckled down 18 hours later and came back and won this game with defense.
Defense was solid, so there you see the final score. The Storm, 105. The London Lightning, 101. Okay, so on behalf of Gordon McNeely and the entire 5TV1 crew that were simply brilliant here this afternoon, I'm Peter Ruckgazer saying good night from Charlottetown.